From space, planet Earth looks like a blue and white spinning marble. But take a closer look. Now you can see oceans, continents, lakes and rivers. Then cities, buildings, and lots of people. Geography is the study of Earth's physical features, weather and climates, natural resources, and populations. Geography is a way to understand people and places. So where on Earth are you? The American West is a land of extremes. The snow-capped Rocky Mountains and the Sierra Nevada range rise above the clouds. Death Valley, the lowest point below sea level in the Western Hemisphere, and one of the hottest places in the world, reaching 134 degrees Fahrenheit, challenges even the most rugged plants to survive. The tallest trees in the world seem to touch the sky in Yosemite National Park. And the Colorado River rips through Colorado and Utah before snaking its way through the Grand Canyon in Arizona. This extreme land attracts some pretty extreme characters, too. And not just those with scales. Cliff jumpers, rock climbers, snowboarders, and surfers take on the diverse topography of the West as a personal challenge. Topography describes the surface features of a region, like hills, valleys, lakes, streams, ridges, and glaciers. Topography also describes man-made features, bridges, tunnels, dams, and roads. As you watch the program, see if you can figure out which state has all of the following topographic features. Thick forest with trees more than 30 feet in diameter. A desert 282 feet below sea level. And the second biggest city in the United States. Remember, this state must contain all of these features. Let's narrow it down. What's interesting about the land in the West is what's underground. It's all about geology, the study of the Earth. Geologists study the Earth's features, how the Earth was formed, and the forces that change it. They use this information to learn about the Earth's origin, history, and structure, and to make predictions about the Earth's future. Some geologists study minerals and mining. Some study Earth's movements. Some study fossils. And some study how layers of rock formed over millions of years. The Earth is made up of layers, similar to a hard-boiled egg. The core, the mantle, and the top layer, the crust. It's referred to as Earth's skin. And out west, that skin is mostly dry and rocky. Some of the most prominent geologic features of the West are mountains. The Rocky Mountains make up the longest mountain range in North America, extending more than 3,000 miles through the United States and Canada. The Rockies stretch through New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Washington, and up through Canada to Alaska. Geologists conclude that these mountains formed millions of years ago, as plates of Earth's crust moved and pushed up huge pieces. Over time, wind and water erosion shaped the Rockies. Volcanic activity and glacier movements also contributed to the formation of these peaks. The Rockies form the Continental Divide, an imaginary line that runs northwest to southeast. All rivers west of the divide drain toward the Pacific Ocean, and all rivers east of the divide drain toward the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. The West abounds with natural resources. In fact, gold and other minerals were the main attraction in the 1800s. The hills were full of gold. The fertile soil was ideal for many crops. The logging industry found a steady supply of timber, and the fisheries of the Northwest thrived. Using and enjoying natural resources requires protecting them. One way the United States protects land and resources is by creating national parks. In 1872, Congress designated Yellowstone the first national park. The park covers land in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, and is larger than Rhode Island and Delaware combined. The idea was to preserve and protect the natural habitat from industry and hunting, and also to provide a place for tourists to enjoy. Geologists tell us that more than 60,000 years ago, volcanic eruptions created the landscape of Yellowstone. A large mass of molten rock called magma remains beneath the Earth's surface. Geologists have also found evidence of glacial activity. 13,000 years ago, Yellowstone was buried under ice. As the glaciers melted, they eroded parts of the volcanic rock. Today, groundwater seeps into the earth and is heated by the molten rock underneath. This creates geysers, places where steam shoots up out of the earth. Stay clear of the eruptions. The boiling water in these geysers can reach 400 degrees Fahrenheit. South of Yellowstone, you'll find the states that make up the Four Corners. Where Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico meet is the only place in the country where 4 state boundaries intersect in perpendicular lines. You can't explore the West geology without a look at the Grand Canyon in Arizona. Formed over millions of years by the fast-moving waters of the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon is a giant gash in the Earth's crust. Over the centuries, water, wind, and melting snow eroded the walls of the canyon, exposing the layers of rock. These colored layers serve as an illustrated timeline that geologists study to understand the canyon's history. It has taken millions of years for the canyon to appear the way it does today. If you'd like a visit to the largest living things in the world, head for California's Yosemite National Park. Here you'll find giant sequoias, trees that tower up to 275 feet and live as long as 3,000 years. By studying a tree's rings, geologists learn the tree's age, as well as valuable information about climate changes throughout history. With this topography, California is sounding a lot like our Mystery State. The only things lacking now are a desert and a big city. Welcome to Death Valley, located in East Central California. Don't abandon all hope. This desert valley may have the lowest point in the Western Hemisphere, but it's also home to many plants and animals. They don't seem to mind that this is the hottest, driest spot in North America. Geckos, coyotes, and many other animals here are nocturnal, or active at night, because it's coolest then. The cacti have adapted to survive on very little water. The Sierra Nevada range blocks moisture from reaching the valley, creating these arid conditions. So it looks like California has a little bit of everything, including sprawling big cities like Los Angeles in the south and San Francisco in the north, and protected national parks. Have you figured out which state has forests, deserts, mountains, and big cities? That's right, California, the third largest state in the United States. The landscape of the West took millions of years to form, and geologists are uncovering it rock by rock.